When I'm out there in the marketplace talking to clients, not a conversation goes by without the issue of pricing coming up. And what does it mean for the organization? But before we get to that, we really have to define pricing, don't we? Colin, what is pricing?
At the highest level, price is the lever, the mechanism with which companies capture a portion of the value they create. So across industries, across sectors, companies are seeking to identify profitable pockets of demand and then create a product service bundle that helps them tap into those profitable pockets of demand. And it's price that helps them capture a portion of that value created as profit for the firm.
So it's really the nexus of what's been created, the value to the customer, all that coming together in one place called price. But is it really just, we talk about price and probably people think the price.
Right.
What is the price? But is it more complex than that? Or are there more dimensions than that, Chico?
Yeah, I think it's multidimensional. So I think people just, to your point, think about it as just the price. But if you look at it, there's your list price, and then there's all the different components that get you to the part where you're negotiating. So all the issues around rebates, around discounts, around promotions. So then what ends up being the negotiated price, and then making sure that you understand whether that is a profitable outcome for the business or not.
Some people talk about pocket price. So, I mean, the price, the money that you put in your pocket as a company when it's all said and done. So what you were referring to, all these different tools that get you from maybe a list price that you start with, all the discounts, rebates, to your point, promotions, are really just the components of price that get you to the sale and get you to the net number that goes into the pocket, right?
And then there's the other side as well, which is then you take that and then you also have to understand all of the critical elements of the cost to serve, et cetera, that help to influence and help you understand what are the true levers of economic profit that you can adjust to make sure that you're always at a profitable price point.
Now, a lot of companies, they price based on their cost plus a desired margin, Colin. Is that still prevalent?
It is still prevalent, and it's understandable in many ways because cost is one thing that companies understand and can control. The problem with cost-based pricing is that if you just attach a standard markup, sometimes you're leaving money on the table if the customer's willingness to pay is here, and other times you're missing out on orders if the customer's willingness to pay is here. So the most sophisticated pricing organizations work hard to quantify this relative willingness to pay and then price at a segment-specific level.
A lot of companies want to move to the next level and they try and take into account maybe competitor-level pricing or market-based pricing, but what you really need to do is elevate it to a customer price. In order to understand that, you need to understand the willingness to pay, and really the challenge is understanding how to quantify that level of effort, or quantify that level of value in the marketplace. What's my willingness to pay? What's my price elasticity around it? And there's a tremendous amount of data in the marketplace, and now it's trying to pull apart the difference between the noise versus the real value to help me understand what you value and what's the difference between what customers say versus what they mean and what they do.
Value-based pricing is, as Chico notes, this quantification and realization that different customers value your product service bundle differently, right? So if you take paint as an example, that is a bundle. The product has attributes like opacity, dispersion, color. Some people are buying the color, some are buying the smooth coating, some are buying the yield that the dispersion characteristics deliver. Understanding which value or service matters to each customer allows you both to construct your value message as well as to create a customer-specific price.
It sounds like what you're talking about is really understanding, first of all, who's the customer, what do they value, and how can I design a price package or a price point that really addresses the specifics of that particular customer and what they value.
Right, and what the distinction between the companies that are really doing this well or doing this right is they're taking the guesswork out of it by incorporating a level of science, and to Colin's point, that quantification, to be able to translate that into a meaningful number that they can rely on, that's fact-based, they can make informed business decisions going forward and adjust depending on how the marketplace is performing.